Go. Oh, wow. I have some more big news, Megan. I'm just getting this right now. So somebody that's very, very respected asked me to do his show 2 weeks ago, and I said, why not? And to me, it's very big because he's the biggest there is, I guess, in that world by far. Somebody said the biggest beyond anybody in a long time. And his name is Joe Rogan, and he's never done this before. And it just came over the wires that Joe Rogan just endorsed me. Is that right? Thank you, Joe. That's so nice. And he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that stuff. And he tends to be a little bit more liberal than some of the people in this room. No, I had a lot of fun, and he was amazing. And it was a 3-hour interview. In fact, I was 2 hours late for a rally that we had. I had explained that a little bit, and it was cold out that night. We flew, but we had to make it. We were more than 2 hours late, and they understood. I said, I just was interviewed by a very interesting guy, and he just kept going on. They called it a long form, and it could have gone a lot longer, but he was great. And he's not a person that does endorsements, but he did an endorsement. So I just want to thank Joe Rogan. That's fantastic.
Oh my God. How are you? I'm good. This is my husband, Henry. Hi, Henry. Kamala Harris. Very nice to meet you. So, how's it going?
I'm sure this happened.
No, it's the day before the election, but I just wanted to come by and say I hope to earn your vote, and I wanted to thank you for just giving us the time.
Well, you got my vote already, because I'm going to be working.
Okay, stop it. Oh, who would you rather be tonight? The eve of the election? Would you rather be the guy on the stage receiving the endorsement from the most powerful podcaster in the world? Or would you rather be knocking doors, trying to get a photo op, door to door, trying to pretend like you're a regular person and people love you? I don't know. I think that's a pretty easy choice. Welcome to the show, my friends. Tonight, the Ace Report, we have a doozy for you. We are going to go through the final predictions for tomorrow. I have gone through every single bit of data I can possibly scrounge up. We're talking polls, early voting, registration numbers, everything, mood swings, bad moods, people high. I don't know. We did everything. I talked to people. I looked around. I listened. And I'm telling you guys, tonight I have what I think is an extremely good prediction. I think I'm very, very close on this one. And we're going to find out tomorrow. But when I give you guys my final prediction here at the end, I'm going to give you president, Senate, House, and tomorrow, obviously, you guys can fact check me and see how I did. But I feel really good about this. Put a lot of time and effort into this. 20 plus years of watching elections at my back, actually 30 years. 96 was my first. So 28 years watching elections, all this. And I've done my best work. I've done my best work to give you guys what I can give you. And I feel really good about it. I do. I feel really good about it. But first, let me say hey to the beautiful people in here. Kasink, numero uno tonight, Medio Junkie. You're second. I'm sorry, friend. Silent G third. Hobbs, what's up? Troy, man, Moody Waters, Andy Brewer in the house. BN Pro, Blue 5. Vin, man, Pauly V, the one, what to do? Darren Collins, Vanden Plays, what's up? Thomas Dubois, Badonka Donkey made it. I love it. Eric Everett, Doug Peterson, Pat Shagoya, Kathy, Scott Volkovich, Frank Anastasio. So now what? Kim Wiley. Tomorrow's the big day. It's either going to be one of the best days of our lives or one of the worst. So Anthony Lang says, please, Trump, win, please. Peter Udoka, anyone else want to be sick of winning? Oh, God, I do. Texas Lone Star, countdown began. It's the final countdown. Da-na-na-na. We're here at the election. 51 ditto, what's up? Huge day. Hero at large, John Cox. If we have New Hampshire and Virginia too close to call, you know it's Trump's science. Ooh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Linda Telly, what is going on? Get the real commander-in-chief back. Mike Mishler, what's going on? Cindy Lou Who, Living Legend, Game Time, Michael Tucker, Divine Intervention. I like that. Linda Telly, I have a feeling Kamala will be drinking beer too tomorrow night. She won't be celebrating. She'll be crying. Well, she's got to get that box wine, that good box wine. The Libertarian Party endorsed. We're going to talk about that. Don't steal my thunder. Whittington, just in time, landing back from Mexico to vote for Trump. I love it. Candace Morrison, what is going on? Kamala might win with Lady Gaga and her girlfriend showing up. Yeah, man. Rogan endorsing Trump is a big deal. It's a freaking big deal. Yes, maybe sooner, but you know what? The night before, that's the momentum you want to carry into the day. So if he's going to wait, at least he waited for right now. It's a perfect timing to get a little more juice. And I'm saying, I tweeted tonight that now all the bros who are on the fence are going to run to the polls because Rogan's their guy and he's going to get them there. So Rum Dog like 2 times tonight. Brett says, my prediction for tomorrow is Kamala won't be black. Butters, make elections great again. I love it. Moody, supposed to visit Michigan. We couldn't find your passport. Yeah, you don't need a passport at the southern border. That is true. Please like, share, subscribe, and we are going to get into it. DB, please discuss the gender gap. Key battleground states seems that overall women voted more than usual, but what about battleground states? Is it significant? No. The answer is it is not significant for 2 reasons. Numero uno, men tend to vote more on election day. So that'll cover up some of the gap. Numero dos, what they're finding is when you look deeper into the numbers, the men not voting actually tend to be mostly minority men in urban areas, which means the real place the man vote is suffering is the Democrat men. They just don't like Kamala and they're not turning out. So we don't got to worry. We do not worry. Listen, the Democrats are so stinking desperate for one good bit of news, 1 ounce of good news, that they are willing to just go to the dregs. They're digging up the dregs of news and saying, we got to have something. Give us something, dear God. We suck so bad. This is falling apart for us so bad. They're so scared. They're so scared. Now, does that mean Trump will win tomorrow? No, but let me get to my prediction here in just a second, because I think I got something to say about it. I really do. So I'm going to go through 10 rallies in 3 days. He's amazing. He is amazing. Brett, you're trying to find a Democrat. Show me how to hit the button twice for my stream. It really, the view counts really go up when Democrats die. I don't know how I understand it, but it's how it works. Yeah, please like, share, subscribe. Okay, I know you guys are waiting with bated breath. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through today's news. I'm going to go through the latest data that I've pulled up. Okay, and we're going to go through that, and then I'm going to present the overall picture of what I think it's going to look like tomorrow. All right. So we're going to build up to it by showing you where we're at. And yes, I will let in the cat out of the bag. You guys already know it, but if you've been watching me, I do believe Trump's going to win. But the question is, how much will it be enough to get called tomorrow? And how much will he pull up with him? Okay. So Rogan endorsement's not trending on X. I just give it to him. It'll happen in a few minutes. Andy Brewer, you're watching me on the big screen tonight. Everything good for I love it. Heavy red wine. That's good stuff. Yep. So the Rogan endorsement is massive. Okay, let's get moving here. All right. So this was RFK Jr. tonight talking to some people and just happened to squeak out Trump will win in a landslide. That's the second time he said it. He said it before over the weekend at the rally. And now he's talking to some private people. letting that slip out. So you got to love that. David Axelrod, the famous progenitor of the Obama campaign, says, in my experience, when campaigns have momentum on the final weekend, it tends to carry through on election day. Here's the funny part. Is he wrong? No. Did he mean it on the wrong side? Yes. There's no way Kamala had momentum over the weekend. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all made up. It's all based on the stupid man vote down. And they're trying to infuse something that simply isn't there. But his statement is correct. But Trump has all the momentum going in to the election. And my God, it just boosted substantially with the Joe Rogan endorsement. So Axelrod's right. He just doesn't know that he's right for the other way. This is huge. Tonight, Bernie Moreno now leads in the polls for the Senate. So this is just another Senate seat going that way. And it's going to be very good at the end at the Senate when I give my prediction here. It's very exciting. 51 Ditto says, what do I think the secret is that Trump's talking about? I don't know. I'm actually curious to know when he said after the election, he'll tell us. Brad, how much one of the polls I saw today showed California have 42% support for Trump? If that's true, Trump's going to win the popular vote by 5 points. That's what's going on. Good drinks and good cigars for a while. I love it. Total Democrat meltdown, Oregon. I like that, Thomas. Secret is they caught them all. That might be true, but that's not a secret. He's already said it. His endorsement post is 10 million views. Yeah, it's spreading quick. It really is. This is huge. Okay, so Minnesota breakdown. Republicans are dominating rural areas with more than 2-to-1 advantage. So that means 66 to 67% of people in rural areas in Minnesota and other places are going huge for Trump. In the suburbs, it's closer. GOP estimated 4-5, which means they're slightly down. Is Minnesota. Surprisingly, Republicans are currently leading in early votes. Early vote lead in Minnesota. That's insane. Still made swing voters in play, but the latest Atlas Intel poll holds Republicans have a real shot turning Minnesota red for President Trump. My God, Minnesota is the great white whale. It's the only state that hasn't gone red for over 50 years. 1972 for Nixon was the last time. Polling's within striking distance. Field plan has been solid. Environments on our side. It'll also perform strong on election day. We could pull this off. I'm going to show you guys in a minute how Trump is actually under polling this time, just like in 2020 and 2016, but this time it might even be worse. Nate Cohn from the New York Times came out the other day and said he can't get a hold of 20% of Trump voters. They don't want to talk to him. And he said, this is the New York Times guy saying this. He said he thinks the polls are going to be more off than in 2020 or in 2016 and more off in favor of Trump. And Trump's already polling the best he ever has. That's huge. Here's the final Atlas Intel poll numbers. Atlas Intel, best poller in the nation, been the most accurate for 2 election cycles. This place is unbelievable. And their polls are so good. And here is their final battleground map. And look at this. They've added Minnesota and Virginia to the battleground states. That's not good for Kamala. On top of that, you have the main 7. They got Trump winning, I'd say comfortably in some. It seems close, but remember, guys, the bias always goes to the left. Arizona, they have by 5. Georgia, 1.6. Michigan, 1.5. Minnesota's within 2. Within 2. That's a small polling error miss to win Minnesota. Nevada's at 3. North Carolina over 2. Pennsylvania 1. I'm telling you, North Carolina is going to go by 4 or more. Just saying it right now. Pennsylvania by 1. Virginia's within 5, which, guys, Virginia's closer than that. Sorry to tell them, but it is. But that's okay. They tried. Wisconsin, 0.9. Wisconsin's going to go to Trump by 3 or 4. Just watch. Just watch. But this is a wonderful poll. 7 battleground states to Trump. And they, in order to find something for Kamala, they had to throw in 2 more battleground states. And you don't see on here? New Hampshire, which New Hampshire is probably closer than Virginia. They didn't poll it though, but New Hampshire is probably closer to Virginia. We're going to flip blue states tomorrow, and we're going to, I think, sweep the battlegrounds, but we'll see. We'll see. John Cox says, no one I know likes Kamala in California. Everyone had legal issues in California hates her. Felons can vote in California. Yeah, that's true. Jenny's in the house. Jenny, we love you. Good to see you. John, why are you going kayaking in a river of liberal tears? DB, what about the poll saying Dems are leading in Ohio? You mean in Iowa? I didn't see a poll that said they're leading in Ohio. The Ann Seltzer poll came out, said she's leading in Iowa, and there's no freaking way that's true. It's a total psyop poll, total BS. She is ruining her reputation on this poll. Dude, Trump was up 19 points 3 months ago. You don't go from up 19 to down 3. It's impossible. He will win Iowa by double digits. Mark my words. He's down 3 in Iowa, according to Ann Seltzer. He'll win it by 12 or more tomorrow. 12 or more. Mark at 8. I know I'm 100% right on this. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat a beer bottle. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Gary Ball, Minnesota's a red state except the Twin Cities. Exactly right. You've been telling me, Mike. I know. I listen. I've been saying it's in play a long time, Minnesota. Can't wait to see delicious new meltdown meats. They're coming. Boswell hopes Steve Garvey wins. We all do. You got a giant. You think Garvey's going to win? Man, I hope so. Rarely Aces says Nation shifted 7 to 10 points to the right. That's correct. Gallup has us at 7 points to the right since 2020, which is insane. Insane. Thomas says ASO's at the doc office. She was going to write me a prescription, and he reached in her pocket, pulls out a rectal thermometer, blurts out, damn, some Axel has my pen. What is that all about? Mavil says, whatever happened, guys, don't rip yourselves apart. Warmest regards. Listen, tell the liberals that. You don't have to tell us that. Listen, MAGA's not going to rip up other people for this. What we're going to do is if they steal the election, we're going to take it to the courts. We're going to take it to the top. We're not going to take it out on our fellow people. The liberals, they'll take it out on local businesses, people wearing MAGA stuff. They are the ones full of hate. Tell them to chill out. You don't have to worry about it on this channel. Okay. Check this out. Downtown DC is already boarded up. Why? Why would you board up if you know Kamala's going to win? I don't know. But I also had a friend call me today, was just in DC, spent a few days there last week, said DC is a ghost town. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. He said they were walking the streets, him and his friend, completely empty. Completely empty. So just telling you, it's they're preparing for something. They are absolutely preparing for something. New York Times getting scared. Getting scared. Here today, headline, dancing, Bible verses, booze, a tense DC tries to calm its nerves. Why would they be so nervous? I thought it was good. I thought everything was great. I thought it was wonderful times in liberal land. Not so much. Absolutely not so much. If she wins, how am I going to feel tomorrow? Well, XRP, I'm not allowing myself to go there right now. Alan Krentz, thought about skipping tonight. Too much pressure. Can I explain the Brunson case with regard to election? I don't know what Brunson is. You'd have to be, what state was that? Evelyn, add 5 points to Trump in all swing states. You have his correct lead. I believe it's at least 3 to 5 points in every state. Blue states are boarded up. That's right. Chris G, what's up? Ted Cruz is not going to lose his seat. No, he won't. He won't lose. They are polling him close. I'm going to go over all this at the end. And we're not far away. I'm going to just do this news stuff fast, and then we're going to go over the final predictions, okay? Because I want to build up so it makes more sense when I go over my predictions. Okay, guys? Wicked, what sex it goes to courts, betting markets settle for Kamala? It doesn't matter, though. Betting markets don't matter at all. Boswell, Bucks County had to wait. Yeah, we talked about that. Trump's secret is the Brunson case. Well, maybe that's it. I'm trying to remember which one is the Brunson case. I've been following so many of these cases. That one slipped my mind. Trump wins. What major cities do you think will burn? I don't think any will burn, but I think there's going to be some uprisings for sure. And it'll just be a lot of them in the blue states for sure. Mostly, you know. Minnesota voting for Trump and Vance, not Kamala Watts. I love it. Yeah. You're verbally accosted by a punk kid today. Courteous took a swing at you. What? You knocked out a punk kid? That's hilarious, Al. I can totally see that on you. All right, here we go. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the theory of the case for Democrat wins, a massive number of 2020 mail-in voters who decide to forego early voting entirely or waiting to vote on election day, right? This is the most pathetic. The Democrats, guys, when they say they're confident right now, this is exactly what they're talking about. We already talked about the women vote. I already debunked that. But this is the other one they're saying. They're saying that, oh, we all decided this year we're going to vote on election day. Well, guess what Democrats don't do? They don't vote on election day for the most part. It's like 57 to 41% Republicans over Democrats voting on election day. That's a 16-point advantage nationwide on average. Democrats like to vote early and by mail, and their numbers are tanked this year. Guys, I'm telling you, it's disgusting. I'm going to show you here in a minute, but they are just getting their asses handed to them. And because of that, they have this theory that, oh, no, we're just going to show up on election day. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You know why it's not going to happen? Because Kamala doesn't inspire anybody. Kamala doesn't inspire people to stand in line for 5 hours. She just does not. Okay. It's just not how it works. What's up, US1? Good to see you, man. Red wave's coming. I believe Trump's going to win 47. I can't go that far, but I do think it's going to be solid. I definitely think it's going to be solid. Can I debunk it again? It's just the women, most of the men not voting are Democrat men, not Republican men. That's what's going on. They did not vote mail bar. No, I'm going to go through the numbers. Okay. Just chill out, guys. Hold on a second. All right. Bannon's out there. He's beating the war drums again. I love Steve Bannon. I'm not going to play this. I really want to, but I want to get through this. There's so much to talk about tonight, and I don't want to go much longer than an hour, because maybe even under an hour, because tomorrow I'm going to be on for like anywhere from 4 to 7 hours. So I'm live streaming the whole thing tomorrow night, and we're going to cover it. And I'm going to tell you when it's over, basically. I'll be able to see it unless there's massive, crazy cheating that comes in. That's so unreal. They can't hide it, and Trump will still get in because we'll beat it. But he's out there saying everything's in place. Tomorrow is Normandy. What was Normandy, guys? It's the turning of the tide. It's the battle that we won when we stormed Normandy's shores with England and France and whoever else was on the Allied side. We stormed Normandy's beaches, took them back from the Germans in World War II. And we didn't win the war that day, but we did win the war that day, because that was the day everything turned and we went from defense to offense. And that's tomorrow. Tomorrow we go from defense to offense. Massive turnouts already happening. Election integrity is already being beaten ahead of time. Tomorrow we close the deal. So I love it. And having Bannon back is just good stuff. All right. Rich Baris expected Democrats to surge in these states at the end, telling people they would close the gap in Pennsylvania and closer in states like Nevada to within 20K, but they didn't. Guys, what happened today is crazy in Pennsylvania. All right. So in Pennsylvania, they said they needed a firewall of 500 to 700,000 votes. That, and by firewall means votes banked early that they can bring in at the end of the night to win the election if Trump's ahead during the on-day voting. In 2020, they had a firewall of 1.1 million. This year, they're down 700,000 from that number. And guess what? They thought they'd get one last push today. Today was the last day. Get that counting. Get one major push. Get one major push in. Push us over. Get us over that 500,000. You know what they got today? You know what Democrats brought in today for Pennsylvania? 2,400 ballots. Pathetic. Pathetic. Democrats aren't turning out. They're not turning out for the Kamala. They don't like the cackle. The cackle scares them. It's very it's a scary cackle, guys. It's a terrifying cackle. Keep going. Breaking. Here's the Kamala campaign. The Kamala Harris campaign says Kamala has gone absolutely batshit crazy at the lack of voter turnout in Pennsylvania. She saw that 2,400 and she was gone. What? The cackle is gone. She's probably cackling right now from madness. Where's my wine? She's going crazy. They thought they were going to get a push today. They thought they were going to see 50, 75, 100,000 voters come in today for Pennsylvania. They got 2,400. 2,400 in one day in Pennsylvania, the most important battleground state, the Keystone State. 2,000 for, I can't say it enough. It's so pathetic. It's unbelievable. All right, let's keep going. I was confused why Hillary Clinton came to campaign in Tampa last weekend. Florida early voting showing a potential 10-plus point blowout for Trump. It's a waste of time to campaign for Kamala. Then I got a call from Election Data Insider that shocked me. Hillary didn't come to Tampa to stump for Kamala. She came to stump for longtime Dem Rep Kathy Castor. Why? Why would you stump for a little House rep in Florida? Early voting data shows her formerly safe blue congressional seat, CD14, districted in the bluest parts of Tampa, St. Pete, in jeopardy as Hillsborough County becomes redder and redder. Barely any media coverage of this, but the Hillary visit is a big tell. Could be a huge flip and foretell other Democrat weaknesses nationwide. What do we do when you can't trust the polls? What do we do when you can't trust the media coverage? You look and see what the enemy is doing. This is a panic move. They sent Hillary Clinton to Florida to campaign and stump for a safe blue seat. You don't do that on the last day of the campaign for the election if it's safe. You don't waste those resources. They sent the big dog down there. This is going to be abysmal for them. Let's keep moving. Dems are expecting to net 50,000 ballots today. They got 2,400. I just can't stop showing you guys it. It's so funny. It's just too fun. It's just too fun. Nobody can believe it's real. Baris is out there saying it's real. I called them all. I double-checked APIs. I checked the public-facing sites. Real. They couldn't believe it. They just couldn't believe it. It's such a pathetic small number. I love it. All right, let me go through this in a second here because this is going to blow some minds. Let me catch up in the chat for a second, and then we're going to go through some of these numbers. Yeah, desperate actions are their tell. You're right, Pam Hayes. XRP, forgot to tell you that Dems lost 14% of young males within 4 years. I believe that 100%. If New Hampshire goes, it's over. Absolutely. Vince says blacks vote way down. Rural vote way up. Republican votes way up. That's exactly right. Normandy was storming in the beaches. In this case, it's storming the beaches. Brett, you brought it. You brought it tonight. I love it. Mike says, honestly think this early voting coming from Democrats, Republicans, Independents are voting for change. That's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. You got it right there. Feel good, bad for Kamal's husband. He deserves her. I mean, he slapped a chick in public. I think he deserves her. I really do. Jartober thinks Harris will win. Jar, keep watching, man. Keep watching because you're going to see how impossible it is for her to win right now, which means that even if they cheat to steal it, it's going to be so unreal, so crazy obvious. We're talking 2020 on major steroids, 2020 times 10. It'll be so obvious, nobody will be able to deny it. And that means Trump will still get in. I'm just telling you, we have a much, much stronger group running the Republican Party now, and a Supreme Court that's not brand new, but tested in the conservative field. We're going to win. We're going to win. Jeff, hurry up and get in here, man. James, think the analysis misses the biggest influence. Election booth, one of the few places can drink alcohol from your flask without judgment. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's interesting. Stella Artois. Stella Artois is good. Good friend, too. Heard SNL earned Trump a free commercial during primetime football. Yeah, exactly. What would you rather take? These dummies. They thought they'd give Kamala a little bump on SNL. Nobody watches SNL anymore except liberals and college students staying up late. Nobody watches it. It's not funny anymore. Okay, the ratings are way lower than its prime. But because of that, you gave Trump you had to give Trump, in order to not break the law, you had to give Trump a prime time spot on the highest rated program of every single week ever. You guys know that Sunday Night Football is like, there's 17 weeks, 18 weeks with the buys, 18 weeks of Sunday Night Football. Those 18 weeks are like 18 of the top 50 highest rated shows every single year. So Trump got a massive bigger audience because of their dumb mistake. Is crazy. Jay Kennedy, those 2,400 votes are not from. What are you playing? Are you playing a game, Jay? I wasn't saying they were pathetic for making those votes. I was saying the number was pathetically low. Come on, Jay. Don't play games with me. Don't be stupid. I'm not stupid. You know that's ridiculous. Don't play that game with me. That's not what I was saying, and you know it. James Flowers, poly market Trump at 60. I mean, I don't even care the poly markets right now, but that's awesome. Sue Radcliffe with the $50 donation. Sue, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. A lot of work goes into this show, so every donation matters a lot. And if you guys like what you're watching, please like, share, subscribe, and you can join the membership for $3 a month. That's all I ask for free extra content, or not free. You're paying $3, but for plenty of extra content, as well as access to the Discord group where we chat all day. Thank you again. Thank you so much, Stu. Making my day. Thank you so much. Oh, it was a joke. Okay, Jay. I'm sorry. I can't tell. Sometimes people just get crazy on here, but I'm glad it was a joke. Okay. Now I can laugh. All right. Let's keep moving. What's up, Roger? All right. Let's keep going. Okay, guys, let's go through these numbers here. I love that she put this all together. All right. This is nuts, guys. Okay. Here are the numbers of the early votes. All right. And this means mail-in votes that were turned in already as well. So this counts mail-in votes turned in, plus everybody that showed up in person to vote early in the states. Guys, these are the Democrat numbers, urban and female. And I'm sorry, most females on here, you're not liberals, but you guys tend to vote Democrat by 55 to 45%. I don't know why. A lot of you girls like killing babies or just believe the lie that they're going to try to control your uterus. I don't know what it is, but that's how it works. I'm sorry. That's how it is. So they're counting female turnout and urban turnout. Arizona, compared to 2020, urban turnout, which is the most important number because that's the cities. It's where the liberals all hang out, down 385,000. That's sick. That's sick for them. Female turnout down 170,000. Georgia, compared to 2020, urban turnout down 150,000. These are swing states. Arizona lost 12,000 votes, and Georgia was lost by 11,000 votes. Lost. You guys know what I mean. How do they make this up? That's why I don't think they can steal it enough. Michigan, urban turnout down 320,000, female turnout down 200,000. North Carolina, which Trump won, urban turnout down 175,000, female down 154. Nevada, urban turnout down, which is basically just Vegas, 190,000, one city. 126,000 for females. Pennsylvania, urban turnout down 381,000. Females down 450,000. Guys, how do you come back from this? These swing states went to Biden by just a few thousand votes. Just a few thousand votes. And they are down right now, hundreds of thousands from where they were before. And I'm telling you right now, Republicans are going to turn out they already turned out election votes or early votes. They're going to turn out election day votes, higher rate than we've ever seen. Higher rate. How are they? I just don't think they can do it this time. Wisconsin compared to 2020, Wisconsin's not a big state, guys. Urban vote down 100,000, female turnout down 240,000. Tell me again about how the men aren't showing up enough. Isn't that crazy? LSC model says Alan Lichtman, Kamala Harris will be a path-breaking president. What do I make of his predictions? His predictions suck. LSC, sorry. I've gone through his stuff before. I've gone through his predictions before on this show. We went through each and every year, one by one, and what a fraud this Alan Lichtman guy is. He's a total fraud. It doesn't mean he didn't correctly call a few, but his record is nowhere near as perfect as they make it out to be. He's a total fraud. Brett, you can't believe my scheduled election night stream's been on YouTube for a month and we're finally here. I know, we're finally here. We're getting the big one. James says men with super radical or ex-super radical views typically don't vote either except this election. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Dems have no enthusiasm. Our gender reveal parties tomorrow for the U.S. Hope it's a boy. I love it. That's awesome. Biden coming out as trans. What? You guys are crazy. Paulie, on RNC and conservative groups have done an outstanding job in catching cheating attempts. They stopped a lot of the cheat, 100%. And I think the voting early was a big part of that. And I agree with Jay Kennedy. We can't afford to win. It must be a blowout. It's got to be, if not a complete blowout, it's got to be a very strong win. Randy, 2022 red wave rug pull has him anxious for predictions. I get it, Randy, but there is a huge difference between a presidential election and a midterm election in turnout. Just a massive difference. You cannot compare a midterm election to a presidential election. You can only compare them to midterm elections. So if you want to see how 2022 played out, look at 2018, 2014, 2010, so on and so forth. If you want to compare presidential elections, you have to look at 2020, 2016, 2012, so on and so forth. You cannot compare a presidential election to a midterm. They are much, much harder to poll. Hobbs, you were number one. That's right. LSC, he did not predict all the presidents that won from 82. He's a liar. He missed 2000, Al Gore and Bush, and he missed 2016. He half and half did it. He predicted Trump would win with the popular vote. Trump won, but lost the popular vote. So he was only half right there. And there's some other like ambiguities in his stuff as well. He changes his keys based on what he wants to do. Election. Do not worry about that guy. He's completely a fraud. Total fraud. Nobody takes him seriously that actually follows the election stuff. But he's fun for Democrats, and they like to tout him on their shows. That's all it is. So even the illegals are voting for Trump. I don't know about that, but that is funny. All right, let's keep going. Talking about election fraud. Texas Attorney Ken Paxton deploys legal army to the biggest cities across Texas to identify and prosecute election fraud that occurs. Guess what? Ken Paxton doesn't mess around. He's going to catch each and every attempt in Texas. Texas is going to go for Trump by 10 or more. I'm telling you right now. He is not messing around. Ken Paxton is the best attorney general in the nation. He is not screwing around. So this is going to greatly tighten up Texas for us. Now, this is huge. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is straight from the RNC, Laura Trump. Their force is 230,000 poll observers and poll workers strong, and 500 attorneys in every battleground state. So for months, we've been hearing this 500 attorneys they had for the election. Guess what? It's for every state, not just a total. 500 attorneys ready in every state to slap those lawsuits immediately. They are not messing around, guys. And they've already been catching tons of stuff ahead of time. This is slowing them down completely. And it's scaring off those who think, I'd help out, but what if Trump wins? I don't want to go to prison. Keep your $10,000 you're going to pay me. This is absolutely massive. They're on top of it. They really are. Brett, I love this from California. PG&E warned about possible power safety shutoffs because of the wind in Northern California. What? That's ridiculous. Pam's going to feel when the U.S. beat the Soviet hockey team. That's a good one, Pam. I feel like that could definitely be true. Getting rid of Ronna McDaniel would have been a huge factor in securing. I think getting rid of Ronna McDaniel would have been one of the biggest things that definitely happened for this. 100%. You think Trump's a reformist on the Republican ticket? Yeah, I agree. 100%. He's not a true Republican. Republican Party is not a true Republican Party anymore. The Republican Party is now it's now MAGA. It is. It's not Republican anymore. It's MAGA. Hollywood's destroying itself. That's true. Yep. LSC models in Canada. Pierre Polieve wins along with Trump. You'll see a super state emerge strong. And I agree. Yeah. Aaron Coase has 25,000 lawyers. Yeah. It's a lot of lawyers. Hey, you know what? I don't generally like lawyers, but if they're on our side, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it. Yeah. Laura Trump's been awesome. She has been awesome. Let's keep moving. Elon going for the crazy blow here. Hammer of justice is coming, and he's pushing out Pizzagate stuff. I'm going to move on quick from this because I'm on YouTube and I don't want them to bust me. But guys, if Elon's going there, oh man, he must be feeling pretty good about where this is headed. He also said on Rogan today that if Kamala wins, he knows they'll take X down. And that, my friends, will change our country. X has been the number one thing propelling us forward to start this massive movement, getting it going and making it stronger than ever for Trump and all of us involved in it. Glenn Beck says, my election prediction, every piece of historic information on elections tell you this is going to be a blowout. Every piece. Honestly, I couldn't agree with him more. He's 100% right. Right track, wrong track, 28. No incumbent wins with a number that low. Commie, war, immigration, favor Trump, blah, blah, blah. Goes on and on. He's absolutely right. Every single indicator is going the right way for Trump. Every single one. And the only thing out there is, can they steal it? That's it. That's all anybody's worried about. Nobody says Kamala deserves to win. Nobody's afraid of her votes. They're afraid of what they'll pull. And I'm telling you, this is too big to rig right now. Too big to rig. Let's keep moving. I'm almost to the point where we're going to break down the map. GOP won another case, election fraud. Deep Blue, Cobb County, Georgia, wanted to accept 3,000 mail-in votes after the election day deadline. Chair Watley, we got word we won the case. Election day is election day. Listen, 3,000 votes might not seem like a lot, but every one of these is precedent. Every one of these builds momentum to stop more and more. And every one of these stops thousands and thousands of other votes from coming in illegally. Because they might have only caught this little amount, but they put to end the practice, which stops thousands more. So just absolutely huge. Again, if you didn't see already, Rogan endorsed Trump tonight. This is huge. This might be one of the biggest endorsements of them all. Great and powerful Elon Musk. If it wasn't for him, we'd be effed. He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump you'll hear. I agree with him every step of the way. That's a big deal coming from Rogan, who grew up a San Francisco liberal. For the record, yes, it's an endorsement of Trump. It's going everywhere. This guy, prediction, Trump wins by a lot. Election will be over by Wednesday morning. I think it's going to be called tomorrow night. I do. I think it's going to be late tomorrow night, but it's going to get called. Look at this Nevada early update. Nevada posted its final evening SOS report, which is Secretary of State report. Look at these early vote numbers for the Republicans. Nevada has never not had a significant Democrat lead in early voting before. Republicans are up by 42,000 votes early, 4% of the electorate, and Republicans are going to outvote them on the day. In my opinion, Nevada's already gone. There's no coming back from where they are. There's just none. Here you go. This is the total votes right now, rural votes in the swing states. 2020, rural areas, 6.4 million. Urban areas, 6.2 million. Look at the early vote total. 2.5 million. Urban areas, liberal. Rural areas, conservative. We have a 2.5 million vote lead going into election day. That's 2.2 million more than 2020, guys. 2.2 million more over an election that was basically won over 40,000 votes. I'll take those odds any freaking day. And listen, Trump reportedly won the North Carolina early vote all outright. If this is true, it's a bloodbath. I mean, all right. You guys been waiting. It's time to start going to the map. All right, let's do this. So, final poll average. I'm using the multi-candidate because it's more realistic because it's got Oliver, Kennedy, West on there. The overall final coming into election day, Trump's up 0.2. For reference, 2016, which he won, Clinton up 3.2. That's 3 points ahead of the election he already won. And in 2020, Biden 6.9 in the polls. He's 6.7 points ahead of that. That's an awesome place to end in the polling. An awesome place to end. So let's go through this. This is what currently, based on the polling, the election map is. Now let me make this smaller so we can see the whole thing. All right. So this is where we're at with no toss-up states according to polling, RCP. Okay, Real Clear Politics, the best aggregator online. Okay, they're the best. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're way better than 538, way more accurate. All right, that's where they say we are. But this is what we're going to look at here. Let me catch up in the comments, and then we're going to go through it. And I'm going to show you guys what I think is going down tomorrow. Guys, you are blowing me up with these comments. I can't answer all these, but thank you guys for joining the chat. I appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe if you're new. Greatly appreciate it. There's just too many. I can't keep up. This is a lot. I got almost 500 people on here. Welcome. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Work hard on this channel. So good to see you all here. If you want to get through, you might, if you just have an awesome comment or question you want to get through to me, you're either going to have to spam it so I see it at this point, or do a super chat. I'll definitely be able to answer those because I'll see them. So, but sorry, it's just it's getting kind of overwhelming. I'm not going to be able to answer everything. But yeah, how is Michigan blue? Says Jamie. Yeah, it's not. So, all right, let's go through this. Okay, so this is current state of the polling. All right. Now remember, current state of the polling doesn't mean much. The polling is always off with Trump, always. And even Nate Cohn of the New York Times said he's having a very difficult time contacting Republican voters. Very difficult time. He said he thinks the polls could be more off than in 2020. That's a huge statement coming from the New York Times pollster, Nate Cohn. If he's right, in 2020, the national polling was off by 4 points. The battleground states were off anywhere from 10 to 13 points in parts. Okay. So let's say anywhere from 3 to 13. There was huge, massive misses in 2020. 2016, same deal. The national polling was off by about 1 or 2, but the battleground polling was off 5 to 15. The polls in the states are way worse than the national polls. Okay. Good to remember. All right. Trump wins these all the time. He's always underperforming the polls. They're trying to make a big argument now that he's actually going to overperform this time. BS. Absolute nonsense. Pollsters like to hit up educated whites mostly in suburbs and cities. And they miss all kinds of rural voters. So that's why one of the reasons, and also Trump, people are notoriously skeptical of calls they don't recognize. So they do not pick up as much. So it's very tough to poll for Trump accurately. So we're just going to go ahead and assume that in every single state, there's at least a minimal miss of 1% or more. Okay. So let's put this into play here. North Carolina red 100%, 6 points. Okay. In fact, let me put up. All right, let's add the toss-ups. There we go. Okay. So North Carolina, this was easy red. I'm going to put it likely Republican. Okay. That one's easy. 6 points, North Carolina, 4 at the lowest. Georgia, again, this is actually polling better than North Carolina right now, but there's also more corruption in Georgia. So I'm going to say Georgia probably leans Republican. By the way, somebody just hit up in the chat. Just Mike with the 5 memberships. Thank you, Mike. Who'd you bring in? BM, Matt H, Vineyards, Miguel Vasquez, and Romero R. Welcome to the membership. You guys now have access to all the members' lives. At least usually 1 a week, 3 a month at the minimum. And you can now access the Discord chat. So welcome. And thank you, Mike, for the memberships. Greatly appreciated. All right. Now, those are the most likely over here. Let's go over here to the next most likely. Arizona right now. Listen, Arizona's registration has gone like 8 points Republican since 2020. I think it's somewhere between like 6 to 8 points. It's just easy. That's an easy Republican. Okay, easy right there. So North Carolina, Georgia, and Arizona, I think 100% in the bag. That puts us at 262. We just looked at Nevada's early voting. We're just going to put that there. They cannot make that up. They cannot make that up without completely flubbing it with massive fraud. And if they do that, we'll catch them. So we're going to put that over there. Nevada 6. Okay, so what's that put us at? 268. We're at 268. We haven't even gotten to the Rust Belt yet, friends. We haven't even gotten to the fun area. All right, now we have Minnesota. Look at, they put it in toss up. That's how close Minnesota's gotten. Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Out of these 4, I think, by the way, let's make Nebraska 2 Democrat, because that's just Omaha, very blue. Okay, so that's 1 for Harris. All right. Out of these 4, Wisconsin almost always pulls the worst. It pulls the worst out of all of them. And I think, let's look this up real quick. Okay, so over here on the side over here, we have these battleground numbers. All right, so here's Wisconsin. And Harris is currently at 0.4. Clinton was at 6.5 and lost it. Biden was at 6.7 and squeaked it out by 0.3. So, judging by the fact that Wisconsin usually polls about 6 points to the left, and right now she's only at 0.4, Wisconsin to me is safe red. Safe red. Guess what? Trump just won the election. But we're not done yet. We're not done at all. Because Pennsylvania is roaring red right now. John Fetterman's out there warning everybody. Pennsylvania is going red. Pennsylvania has massive Trump support. The Senate candidate in Pennsylvania is out there making ads about how they agree with Trump and they didn't want to ban fracking, all this stuff. They're speaking favorably of Trump. Why are they doing that? Because they know Kamala's a loser. You put all that together and you put that the early vote firewall went down from 1.1 million in 2020 down to 400,000, just over 400,000 today. And today got 2,400. That's right, 2,400, 2,400 new votes in a whole day of voting for Democrats. There's no enthusiasm in Pennsylvania. We're marking that red. Trump is now at 297. We're not done. We're not done. Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania, if they go red, Michigan has almost never gone blue. Almost never. These 3 vote together almost all the time. 2020, all 3 blue. 2016, all 3 red. Obama, all blue both times. Bush, you go on, and it just keeps happening. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mark it there, even though it's the least likely of the 3 to go red. But because this is this electorate is usually votes the same, we're going to go ahead and assume that if Wisconsin, Pennsylvania go red, Michigan will go red as well. I feel pretty good about it based on the early vote numbers. We're now at 312, pretty much a landslide. Okay. Electoral landslide, but we're still not done, friends. New Hampshire. Guess what? New Hampshire, latest polls. There was some BS poll that came out today that had New Hampshire up Kamala 28 points, whereas every other poll recently has had New Hampshire at like 3 points, 2 points, tied. So I think because of the voting trend right now, because they're undercounting Trump voters, and because New Hampshire's voter registration has gone Republican, I think by 4 points since 2020, I think New Hampshire is our first real surprise of the night. So just step back for a second. I have Trump sweeping all 7 battleground states. I have him sweeping all 7. And honestly, I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close. I think at the most, or at the least, he wins one of these Rust Belt states by maybe 1.5. But it's still solid enough. There's no question he pulls it off. I think he's going to steal New Hampshire. I really do. I think he's stealing New Hampshire tomorrow. And that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun to see New Hampshire go red. It belongs red. It's always been the red out of all these. I think we're going to see that. Now, I'm going to have fun because guess what? Everybody else is playing it safe on their predictions. I'm seeing Trump 297, Trump 287, a lot of 312, but a lot of people don't want to make that prediction. I get it. It's fine. To me, if I'm wrong, whatever, it sucks. Like, I don't want to be wrong, but I also really want to be right. So I'm going to tell you guys what I really feel. I'm not going to play it safe here. I'm not playing it safe. If Trump wins all these the way I think he's going to, and then we have Governor Youngkin in Pennsylvania, or I'm sorry, in Virginia, shoring up election laws. He won out of nowhere in 2021, stole Virginia, made it a red state again. It's trending hardcore Biden, 5 to 10. I'm sorry, Kamala, 5 to 10 points. Biden won it by 10. But guys, with North Carolina going strong, Pennsylvania, I think, will be pretty strong. West Virginia, we know what West Virginia is. And Virginia's right here. I think Virginia, we pull out in a squeaker as well. I really do. I think Virginia is actually going to be the shot across the bow, shot heard across the world that makes everybody be like, oh my God, he pulled it off. That's what I think is going to happen with Virginia tomorrow. I think it's going to be a massive shocker because guess what? Virginia's polls close at 7 p.m. Because they close at 7 p.m., it also will be one of the earlier states called for Trump if it's solid enough. And that, my friends, is going to be massive. And right now we're at 329. 329. You guys ready to have some fun? Because I don't think we're done yet. The great white whale is going to fall tomorrow. I think it's finally going to happen after all these years. I keep hearing several reports from people who live here. It's trending that way. The early vote says it's trending that way. The fact it's along with all these other states says it's trending that way. I say Minnesota is finally going red after 52 years. Are we having fun yet? I hope you guys are having fun because I'm having fun. And this seems crazy, but I legitimately think this is how it's going to go down. Now, is anything else going to flip? This is where it gets iffy. And this is where I don't feel as confident. I feel pretty certain that most of this is going to happen. I feel very good about the battleground states all going for Trump. I feel 95, 100% sure. I feel very strong about that. I feel very strong about Virginia, New Hampshire. I feel pretty confident about Minnesota. I really do. Now, this is where it gets fun, but kind of crazy. If this momentum keeps building and this all happens the way I think it might, if it keeps happening, I think Trump's going to pick off one and maybe two more states. Because as these start coming in red over here on the East Coast, and it starts going this way, more and more people on the West Coast are going to get disenfranchised and not want to show up. But it'll also tell us that things are shifting. And if this is really where it's going, I think there's a very good chance we pick off New Mexico too. New Mexico's a lot closer than you think. And Trump visited Albuquerque for a reason. He thinks it can be had. He thinks it can be had. And so that puts us at 344. And then outlier of all outliers. I think New Jersey stays blue by a hair. I don't think it's going to turn, but I think it's a hair. I think it's very close. But I actually think Maine could turn. And probably not Maine 1, but Maine 2 and well, actually this is Maine, it's both. So that would be Maine 1, sorry. So yeah, I think Maine could turn. And that would put us at 347. So this, my friends, is this is not just me playing best case scenario. Because I actually think there's two more that could go in a best case scenario. This is actually what I think is very possible tomorrow. I think this is extremely possible. If I'm off by 10%, he still wins handily. If I'm off by 20%, he still wins. So, but I actually think this is very possible. I think we're going to see 330 or above tomorrow. And on top of 330 or above, I think this is you guys ready to get crazy? Because there is a best case scenario. There is a scenario that blows everybody's minds, that everybody says, no way in a million years do we think we could get here. But it is possible. And let me show you how it happens. So Jersey has been surprisingly close. By the way, this is my final prediction. This is what I actually think is going to happen. Okay, 347. But let's play a game and let's go a little bit more and show you guys what I think best case, absolutely best case scenario. Absolutely best case scenario. Everything trends right. These trends are right on point. They give up on the cheating because they just know they can't do it. They pull back because nobody wants to get in trouble. Trump's allowed, his victory is allowed to run course. Everything goes the way it should go. And nothing's getting in the way. They're not getting any pump up. This is New Jersey could fall. And if New Jersey falls, there's a very, very outlier chance that New York falls. Now, again, that's a huge outlier. I'm not predicting this, but is it possible? Yes, it's possible. It's within the realm of possibilities. Very small, very small. I don't think it's going to happen, but it could. But you know what? Let's just put that back right now, toss up for now, or we'll put it leans Democrat for now. But there's one other state nobody's talking about that actually could switch, because there's a whole lot of stuff going on there that throws a huge freaking monkey wrench into everything. And that's all that's going on with Jenna Griswold and the Secretary of State in Colorado and all the cheating that's getting busted there, which means there's a small chance Colorado could surprise us all. And so when you take absolute best case scenario, California is not going to shift. Oregon, Washington are not going to shift. Illinois is not going to shift. Chicago has too much of a stronghold on it. These dark blue states are small and very liberal. They're not going to shift. New York has the best chance because of the rural vote. So this would be the ultimate manslaughtered map. You cannot believe what just happened. Everything went the right way. And that puts Trump at 399. Well, actually, sorry, we got to flip Nebraska if all this happens to Nebraska won. So he would get 400. But that's the absolute best case scenario. I don't think that's going to happen. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. It could. I give it a 5% chance of happening. 5%. But let's put all these back to where I think it's actually going to happen. That puts us at 347. I think Trump wins this tomorrow running away. I do. I think they call it by midnight at the latest on the East Coast. I just think it's very, very strong. Local Enterprise says, well, thank you, first of all, for the super chat, $10 super chat. Local Enterprise, appreciate it. Says, hope you're right, but I think we won't know till Friday after all the pallets of warehouse ballots show up. Still voted Trump early. I'm not holding my breath. You don't have to hold your breath. I totally understand. You're fine to believe that. If this is going this way, I think it's because they're so far ahead. The early votes, my friend, they have not gotten what they need for mail-in ballots and early votes. They just haven't. Requests are way down. And everybody's watching. They don't have the cover of COVID. They've been busted already several times at other cheats going on across the nation. We have the RNC ready to pounce at every opportunity. And we have way less people voting for Kamala than voted for Biden. Way less. And way more people voting for Trump than voted in 2020. I just don't think they can do it. I just don't think they can do it. I get it. I get the black pill view. I deal with it all the time on my show. But I'm telling you right now, this is not 2020. It just is not. It's not 2020. So I showed you guys my absolute best case scenario. This is my prediction. 340. Oh, I'm sorry. I got to take Maine off there. I got a little carried away, friends. Got a little carried away. 344 about that sounds closer to what my actual prediction is. But let's say what my worst case scenario is. All right. This is my worst case scenario. So let's put these back. All right. Now we're just dealing. Oh, Minnesota blue. All right. That puts us back to 312. Worst case scenario is this. Out of all these, they're able to. Michigan would be the first one that goes. All right. Trump's still winning. All right. Then it would probably be Pennsylvania. 278. And so at that point, he can't lose Georgia. And Georgia would probably be the next, in my opinion. Georgia or Wisconsin. And So there you go. But my worst case scenario, actually, I don't think he's losing Pennsylvania at all. My worst case scenario is he loses Michigan and finishes at 297. I think it's going to be bigger than that. I really do. I think it's going to be much bigger than that. I'm not worried about this at all. Now, that's presidential. By the way, best case scenario, Trump wins about 54% of the popular vote. Worst case scenario, in my opinion, he finishes right at like 49.7, but beats Kamala. He doesn't get 50%, but he beats Kamala. That's my worst case scenario. Okay, so again, now I'm going to go through the Senate right now. But as I shift, guys, please like, share, subscribe if you like this coverage. I appreciate it. Got almost 800 people watching. That's awesome. Welcome to the show. I greatly appreciate you guys. And please like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And I got too much going on in the chat. I'll try to catch stuff. If you have a question you really want me to hit, please spam it or send a super chat. Those are the only ways I'm really going to see it right now because the chat's just moving pretty quick. So, but anyways, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Let's do the Senate. So Trump's going to win. I really feel very, very strongly about it. I do. I battled with this a lot because 2020 is scary, and I still have PTSD over 2020, like you guys do, like a lot of you do. I do, but the data is overwhelming, guys. The data is overwhelming, and when you get to the point where the data is overwhelming like this, you start thinking through the scenarios, and it just makes it so difficult to see a path, even if they do rampant cheating. So, in my opinion, and it's a very educated opinion, I've spent a lot of time doing this stuff. In my opinion, it's that if they somehow squeak Kamala to 270 or something like that, and just barely get her in there in a weak win, and it takes days and days, and they have to mess with the numbers, it's going to be so outrageous that it's going to be overturned. Okay, and so I really believe Trump is going to be in the White House pretty much no matter what. Okay. All right, let's go to the Senate. And give me a Senate map. All right, everybody wants to see that, but I want to see the Senate. Bring it up. Bring it up. Where's my Senate vote? I want the overall map. Why do they do this? I can bring it up on my phone, but they make it a pain in the butt to find it on here. There we are. Senate map. Thank you. All right, Senate map. Currently, they're already predicting Republicans got it. Okay, based on the night I just told you guys. All right. They have Ted Cruz in toss-up. Let's look at why they have Ted Cruz in toss-up. Okay. To me, it's insane. It's literally insane they have Ted Cruz in toss-up. But he pulled as low, and this is 3 weeks ago now. He pulled as low as +1, and then he had a +3 a few days ago. So they're saying it's a toss-up. Atlas Intel, the most accurate, most accurate pollster, has Cruz at +7. In my opinion, guys, it's a no-brainer because Texas is going to go more red than the polls say. So Cruz is in. Okay, well, let me create my own map on here. My own Senate map. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. So Cruz is red. That's to me is a no-brainer. All right, next we have is it even letting me do this? Okay, yeah, here we go. Okay, it's only the color ones. Got it. I haven't played with this map before. All right, Arizona is Kari Lake. Kari Lake's been pulling up, getting all the momentum lately. Okay, all the momentum is going her way. So I'd say Kari Lake, because Trump pulls her up to win. Because Trump is going to win by 5 or 6, maybe 7 points in Arizona, which means Kari Lake, even if she underperforms Trump by 5, 6 points, she's going to win. So that puts us at 53. I think that's the bottom. That's the bottom for the Republicans. Okay, because in Ohio, Bernie Moreno just pulled ahead, and he's going to win that seat. So 53 Senate seats for the Republicans. Massive. Massive. That's just going to push through every judge. That's enough votes so that if Susan Collins and Murkowski, the two Democrats who pretend to be Republicans, if they bail on the Republicans, this is enough to overturn them. So we don't have to worry too much. But we're not done. Because there's a very close race here in Wisconsin. And honestly, I think it's going to go red. And that is, what's her face? Wisconsin, Baldwin. So that's Tammy Baldwin versus Hovde. I think Hovde is going to pull it off. Now it's close. You guys see, very close, within 1.8. But again, Wisconsin pulls left and pulls right by like 6 points the last two elections. So to me, that says Wisconsin is safe. So let's put Wisconsin red. That's 54. And now I jumped too far ahead. Sorry, this map's screwing me up. But okay, so I'll just keep it here. Got 54 now because we got Arizona over here, Texas over here, Wisconsin over here, and Ohio over here. The next two closest are Michigan and Pennsylvania. Michigan, click, Slotky over Rogers. 2 points, guys. It's very close. And the latest polls have it closer. Tie, +1. Again, if Trump, if it's pulling to the left, like in previous races, that goes over here. All of a sudden, Republicans have 55 seats, which is the most they've ever held since 1929. It ties their lead. They've never had 60 seats like the Democrats got with Obama and still didn't get anything done. This is massive. We could have 55 seats, but we're not done yet. Why are we not done yet? Because in Nevada, listen, these polls look bad. All right. Especially the Atlas Intel one, +5, but it's not out of range. And if it goes on that landslide where Trump could hit that 400, I'm talking best case scenario. That's the best case scenario, which is very difficult to do, but it's possible. In that best case scenario, Nevada goes to us. That's 56. And then in Pennsylvania, we got Casey McCormick. It's actually very close, 1.8. So best case scenario for the Republicans tomorrow, 57 seats. 57 Senate seats. That just, it makes everybody freak out. Because 57 is a massively strong Senate. Massively strong Senate. It basically can do pretty much anything it wants. It can't overcome the filibuster at 60, but with a little bit of wheeling and dealing, you get a couple moderate Dems in there on a certain, you can do it real quick. Okay, so that's huge. All right, so worst case scenario tomorrow for the Senate, I have 53. Best case scenario, I have 57. I'm going to go right in the middle. I'm going to say we get 55 seats. I think we hit that record. We tie that record. I think we get 55 seats. Trump gets 340 electoral votes and about 53% popular vote, and we get 55 seats in the Senate. Massive win. Now, let's go to the last thing is the House. Again, guys, there's a lot going on in the chat, so it's difficult for me to see everything. So if you guys want to hit me up, just keep spamming it, and I'll check up in just a second. Where is the House generic ballot? Here we go. What numbers do California have? California for the House? Where is the House? That's not the House. That's not what I'm looking for. I want. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to find House polls. Here we go. I don't want that either. I want their tracker. The phone app is so much better. Sorry, guys. I should have had this ready. Give me a second here. I'm going to find it. We should have. I guess I will just go to the. They don't have a poll or a map for the House. I'm kind of shocked about that, actually. That's not what I wanted. I guess we're just going to have to do the House polls. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Let me go to the House, though. So right now, Republicans lead the House, but it's a slim lead. Slim. I think in the House, though, is it going? Yeah, here we are. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to pull up their actual projection, and it's not taking me to it, but I know how to find it on my phone. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get there. Don't you worry. Of course, this is going super slow, too. All right. Almost there. Not that, not that, not that. Well, where the flip is it? I just had it. Okay, well, I don't know why they make it so hard to find. Okay, I'm just going to tell you because I can't find it. Listen, the House is going, we're going to add 5 to 10 seats. It's the least fun to do anyways because there's 435 races and most of them are already set. But I'm telling you, Trump's going to flip 5 to 10 of them. So Republicans are going to have a better House. With the House and the Senate, it becomes almost impossible to keep Trump out. Any shenanigans, it's all gone. It's a massive red wave. Trump can do whatever he wants in this first term. Well, second term. It's the last term. In this term, gets it all done. And I think it's just going to be massive, massive blowout. Okay, so that's what I'll do on the House. It's just not as fun anyways. So we'll keep it there. But again, back to the old, the presidential one, the map, no toss-ups. It's gonna be a landslide. So I'll just keep it there. This is just based upon the polls. So, anyways, guys, sorry, I ended kind of lame there because of that House thing messing me up. But anyways, that's where we're at. Okay, so final. I got Trump at the popular vote. I think 53%. I think he's going to win about 340 electoral votes. I have the Senate going 55 seats, maybe 56. It's very possible to get 56. And then the House will be in the 230s. And so it's just going to be an absolute bloodbath, red tsunami tomorrow. And I think what's going to happen, again, I think this is where things really freak them out and it starts just a wave. So I think Virginia goes red and it goes red, starts going red fairly early. And because of that momentum, it's just going to sweep across. So we're going to see if I'm right. But the polls close in Virginia. It's one of the earliest to close. And I think the earliest is Kentucky and Indiana. I think they close at 6:30, but Virginia closes at 7, and this will be the one that really matters. If this goes, or North Carolina closes at 7:30, but Virginia is going to be the one that shocks them. So tomorrow, going to be live streaming everything. I'm going to have guests. We're going to have fun. Bring your favorite drinks, snacks. We're broadcasting the whole thing. I'm going to be jumping around, checking on other streams with you guys, watching the data, making my calls as it goes. And we're going to have a good time. Every single battleground that goes, taking a shot. Every state that's blue, Trump turns. We're going to have a drink. It's just going to be, we're going to have a party. I believe it's going to be an election party. And guys, I'm telling you right now, I could be wrong. Anybody can be wrong. I completely understand that, all of it. But my gut says Trump's winning huge. The data says Trump's winning huge. The only thing that's not saying Trump is huge is fear. That's it. It's that one time in 2020 they were able to rig something so crazy, okay, that it scared us all going forward. I don't think they can do it again. Not right now. If Kamala gets in, they're going to legalize illegal immigrants. All that is going to be terrible. Okay. But she's not getting in. Trump's going to win massively tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. So I'm very excited about it. You like that, Sean? I see you. What's up, Sean? Good to see you in here, buddy. So, anyways, really good stuff. Who am I going to use for calling the states? I'm going to be watching Real Clear Politics is going to be tallying the votes in real time, and they're excellent. I trust them because but I'll also be, we'll be checking in on two-way. We'll be checking in on Rich Baris. We'll jump around, and every time a blue state goes red, or every time a battleground state falls, we're going to go watch MSNBC and CNN so we can see some liberal tears. It's going to be beautiful. It'll be beautiful. We're going to enjoy it. So anyways, yeah, I'm up with the early voting, Muhammad. It is crazy red. Crazy red. If you go back through this, you'll see. So anyways, please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for so many people turning out tonight. Huge stream. Love it. Again, like, share, subscribe. Tomorrow night, election coverage. I'm going to be completely biased. This is MAGA biased, baby. We're watching it from a MAGA perspective. It's a MAGA party. If you don't like it, get out. I don't care. We're going to have fun here. I'm not even going to pretend to be straight. I know what the data says. I am going to call it as I see it, but we're going to have fun here. So, anyways, go vote. If you haven't voted, go vote. I don't care if it takes you 4 or 5 hours. It's one day to save the country. Go vote. We have to vote. If we all show up, we win. If we all show up, we win. That, my friends, is the God's honest truth. I believe with all my heart, we are doing this. We are going to pull this one off, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So, all right, guys, love y'all. Thanks for stopping by. Bless you. And tomorrow's the big stream. We'll see you then. Good night.